Hi, I'm Colby Johnson with Driver Industrial. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona, where we manufacture this brand new product called the Helios Warning Light X-Mod series. So these are the X-Mod beacons, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do some of the changes here. So I'm going to show some details on what you can do with our X-Mod series of beacons. Alright, first I want to show you how you take these apart. Okay, it's relatively simple. Might take a little bit of strength, but these are built really solid. They are IP67, so they are watertight, rain tight, dust, dirt, debris. They'll take a power washing, heated water, you name it. They are great. So the trick to these with the dome here, the dome is going to turn counterclockwise to the base to remove it. And if you have a hard time really getting a good grip on it, this saddle base is made so that you could put it on, you know, a 2x4 or a table or something, and you can just turn, right? If you're putting it on, you're going to turn clockwise. If you're taking it off, you're going to turn counterclockwise. So it's going to be a little tight because of how tight our specifications are for sealing this up. But as soon as you get that, you'll see the little notch, turn it counterclockwise, and then you should be able to wiggle and get that off. You'll see the silicone seal around here, and that's what's really creating that connection outside of the design on the actual dome, how it goes up and down and doesn't let rain or dirt or anything in. So that's it. That is how we take them apart, put them together. Same basic system for every beacon that we have. Alright, what I want to do next is show you how to change from a low profile beacon to a high profile beacon. Okay, so I'm going to use a couple beacons to demonstrate this, but if you have a low profile beacon, we'll just take this one for example. This one is a magnetic base with a low profile beacon. You would first remove the polycarbonate dome, and again, if you can't press down and turn this counterclockwise, you have the saddle base, and you can use a desk or something to get a good turn on that. Once you get it turned counterclockwise, then you can just wiggle that and pull that up. Sometimes the lens will stay up in there, sometimes the lens will stay down here. It just depends on the tolerance, the temperature of that. So you take your dome off, then you have your lens, your optical lens there, and now we're looking at the LED emitter and the driver. This is called the driver because it drives the power to the light. All the computer electronics and the programming are mostly in the driver here, and then we have the LEDs up here. So let's take a look at the high profile. So I have a high profile lens. So if we put this high profile lens on here, it's going to operate just fine. But the lenses are not only sized differently, but the Frenzel design is different, right? And that's just how this is shaped. So if I have these like right here next to each other, you'll see that the center of this one is higher than the center of this one. So when we put it on here and it's in the lower position, the LED emitter's in the lower position, it's going to hit perfectly here, and the light is going to work perfect with this optic. When we go to a taller Frenzel lens, we didn't move the LED up, so now we're going to have not the most optimized light output. So what we did is we created a two-position bracket right here. So you would remove a screw. There's going to be a screw. There's two holes here. There'll be a screw in the top one, and you would remove that out. And then when you press in on that same screw area there, it will release, push the little button back so it'll release, so you can pull your lens or your LED emitter up. So there we have it. Now it's in the higher location. Oh, and you put the screw back in. So you're going to put it in the next hole down so that you don't get this vibration as much. So there you go. So you'll do that, and then you'll put your frontal lens in place there. And now that LED is lined up with the perfect place on that. And your polycarbonate goes right over here. If you have a, there should be one of these included. And that should already be attached to the lens, and it should not come off of the lens. But if it's loose, then throw that in there as well, because you don't want light shooting out the top. You want to have that in place, and then you would just press this all the way down and then give it a turn clockwise to lock it in place. Again, if you need to get a little bit more strength on it, you can push in and turn using that. If you have the magnetic base, you've got the rubberized base that's going to hold it in place. You can do it on a tabletop pretty easy. And that's it. That's how you convert from a short profile to high profile. The only thing you would have had to purchase is the dome and the lens. Everything else is included with your beacon, unless you're going to change colors. Alright guys, next I want to show you how to change your light emitter on your XMOD beacon. So let's take this out. So the first thing you would do is locate on one side, there's two holes, and the top one, if this is in the lower position, the top one's going to have a screw. So you would take your screwdriver, take that screw all the way out, and then that same location where that screw was is kind of a button. So you push it in and it will release what's holding your LED emitter in place. So you just push it in and pull up at the same time. Try to hold on to the flats and not the actual boards that are here, the computer boards. Grab the flats and pull that up. This is the high position. If you're going from a short dome to a high dome, this is the position you'll find it in, and your screw would be in this hole if it's in this position. And then if you want to totally remove this LED emitter, then you have to push it in one more time, and boop, there we go, off it comes. So there's your LED emitter, and if you needed to replace that, maybe you were going from an amber color to a green color, you needed to be in compliant with a different location with a different color, or for some reason if this went bad, that's pretty unlikely. You've got about 100,000 hours on the LEDs, but I guess there's a way that it could have gone bad, but if it did, then you could replace it. Just so you know, we have a 3-year warranty on our products here. So you would get your new LED, and you would find these 4 pins, and it's really important that you don't bend these pins, that they stay exactly straight. And you'll find the 4 places right here that your LED emitter is going to go, and then you got to line them up and get them right in there, and it's just a little tricky. There we go. Try not to use any pressures. Don't bend or break anything, and that should slide down. It might slide down to one position, and then you have to push just a little harder to get in that lower position. And then if you meant it to be up, you can push it and then bring it back up to that higher position. But that's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and actually it'll go down. If you had a low dome, you would go back to your low dome and put that on. Tighten her down. You're all set. And that's how you change out your LED light emitter. Awesome. Alright, next I'm going to show you how you could replace your LED emitter and your driver. For instance, if you have a single color LED beacon and you want to go to a 2-color LED beacon, you can't just replace the LED emitter. You have to have the computer to go with it, kind of the smarts, the brains to go with the brawn there, which is your LED. So you're going to take the beacon and you're going to remove your dome, remove your lens, take your LED out and take your driver out as well, and then reverse the process, put it all back together. So I'm going to just show you that real quick here. You're going to take your dome, it's going to turn counterclockwise, and then you can wiggle it. Should come up. There's your dome. There's your lens. Here is your light emitter. And if you're replacing both, you could just unscrew your driver and pull the whole two pieces out together. These should come in a kit if you're doing an upgrade from a single color to a dual color, or maybe you want to go to the rotator flash, or even upgrade to the RGB LEDs, which are coming a little bit later. If you're replacing both, there are two screws, one here and one here. And you would take those two screws out, and then this will lift off, and then you would put these two items together and put it back on. But if you're going to do it a piece at a time, let's look at the LED. LED has two screw holes. If it's all the way down, you're going to take the top one, remove the screw from that, and then once that screw is out, then you push in that same place while lifting up on the LED emitter, and then that'll go to the first, go into the bottom hole, press it in like that, and the LED emitter will come off, and then you can replace this, again taking the screws out, take that out, and then when you put it all back together again, these items might not be put together. You'll take them and line them up. You've got 4 pins here and a place for 4 pins to go there. Got to be a little careful with this, because sometimes it slides on perfectly, other times you just have to line them up just a little bit into the holes. Once you have them, then it'll slide all the way down. So that's pretty easy. And then you would replace your screw all the way down for low profile, up 1 notch for the higher profiles, and then you would replace the lens, Fresnel lens, and replace your dome like so. Get that all the way down nice and flat. If you have problems turning it, again, you can put it on a desk or a table, and with this saddle you can turn and lock it that way. So that's how easy it is to replace those items there. That's it. Alright guys, hey, I just wanted to talk to you a moment about some of the various mounting options we have. We have 4 different mounting options. You can purchase the beacon ready to go in whatever setup you want. You can purchase it with a magnetic mount already in place, magnetic pigtail already in place. Purchase it with the dome that you want, with the lens that you want, the colors that you need to illuminate through, whether it's a clear lens or the amber lens there. So you have a lot of options, and you can purchase it ready to go. If you need to change anything out, you have some options. So just so you know, when it comes in a permanent mount, right, you're going to have this universal platform base here that has pretty much nothing on it. You'll get permanent mount, you'll get a power cord with just flying leads here, loose leads, or with the magnetic you'll have the quick disconnect right there. So permanent mount will also come with these rubberized pads that you'll put underneath when you secure that all down. Boom, 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 put your screws in there. There we go. And you'll have a nice solid rubberized fit. So that's permanent mount number 1. Then the alternate permanent mount is this here. This is your pipe fit mount. So this is going to fit your standard 1-inch pipe fit. 1-inch pipe. And then you're going to have 6 areas to screw into there. Your permanent power can go right down in the middle. And then you can secure your beacon to the top of this little platform. Or if that power needs to go off to the side on the outside of the pipe, you can do that as well. So you can make that happen any way that you need to. So we have the pipe fit mount as a permanent mount, and then we have these little rubberized feet that go on there to make this a nice firm fit as a permanent mount. Or you can go to our magnetic mount. So our magnets, you have two choices with magnets. We have the magnetic mount right here that they both feature 4 neodymium magnets on each side, so you'll have 8 magnets securing this to your vehicle. As you can see, the regular magnet mount has this red over molded rubberized area here, so when you put your beacon on, it's not going to scratch your vehicle. So if you've ever worried about that or ever kind of ruined the top of your truck a little bit because you put beacons on that had ceramics with the aluminum or metal shield around there, you kind of scratched it putting on and off. This one here, everything is made to be non-scratch. So you've got this rubberized over molded area here that once the beacon is magnetically attracted, it is going to be there to stay. It's not going to wiggle or move. These we've tested these up to 75 miles per hour. We also have the vacuum magnetic for those that prefer the larger overmolded vacuum base. We have that as well. Same system, same magnets, same connection. Basically what you do is you'll put that in there, slide that into place, put 3 screws on one side, 3 screws on the other, whichever base you want to use. Boom, 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 3 screws. You'll switch out this cord. If you have a permanent mount, you're going to need to have, there'll be 1 screw in it. You'll take that 1 screw out and then wiggle that off. You will need to have the cigarette lighter adapter cord. So instead of flying leads at the end, you'll have that. There's only one way to put it in. There's a little groove to follow and a little protrusion there, and you push that in. So this cord, along with your choice of magnetic bases, secure those, pick up the cigarette lighter adapter, and then this is 10 foot long, so you have 10 foot of cord between you and there. These connect, boom, really easily, and then you can secure this on your vehicle. So those are the 4 options. We've got standard magnetic mount, we've got the vacuum magnetic, we've got the pipe mount, and then permanent mount. So let us know which mount you want, whether you want it in a kit to convert your existing beacon, or if you just want to purchase a beacon that already has that base already ready to go. We're here to help. Alright, let me show you how to convert a beacon from a permanent mount to one of these magnetic mounts. So say you purchase a beacon that is a permanent mount beacon, and you would know that by looking at the cord and seeing that the cord does not have this plug. That would be visual clue number 1. The other one would be nothing would be attached to here. Now a permanent mount might come with the rubber pads, and the rubber pads would go on, and then you would secure that down and then hardwire. A permanent mount might also have a pipe mount base on there, and then that would be secured on here, and then your power could either run through the middle or off to the side. Usually the power probably run through the middle like that, and that would be a permanent mount. So those are the 2 permanent mounts. But if you're going to convert this beacon to a magnetic mount beacon, which could very well be a necessity, or vice versa, you might want to go from magnetic mount to permanent mount, this is going to be a perfect tutorial video. So the first thing, you don't have to open the beacon up or anything. 2, you're going to do just a couple of quick things. 1, there's going to be a screw right here that you will take out, just 1 screw, and then this is rubberized. You'll just grab this, do a little wiggle, and that'll come out. And this is your permanent mount, 12-inch pigtail, right? And you would need to upgrade that to the cord that has the cigarette lighter adapter plug on one end, and then the base for here, and that would go in. It only goes one way. There's a groove there, a little protrusion there. This goes right in there. Kind of wiggle it, push it down good, put that screw back in it, tighten that screw back in. So there's your power part, and you have one more step with the power in just a moment. So the next thing, you would choose your magnetic base that you want, whether it's the standard magnetic or if you wanted the vacuum magnetic. Now, as you can see, both systems have the neodymium magnets, 4 in each side, so you have 8 times the power with the magnets, and you can see that there's a place for 3 screws on each side. If you look closely, you'll also see there's a little channel right here, a little groove right here, and that's going to be on both models, both the regular magnetic and the vacuum magnetic. That groove is there. That groove is for your power cord. So let me show you how that works. We'll go here to the power cord side, okay, and let's go this way. So some people might just slap it in there and think that the cord's supposed to just be free floating in here. Well, actually we've added this additional feature where this power gets tucked into this little groove. So just line it up with the groove, put it right through there, and that will secure this. So if there's any pulling, tugging, anything that goes on, this base mount is going to actually protect your power from being damaged, protect your beacon from being damaged. So you would put that one on that side and then this one on the other side. You're matching, and again you do the same thing with the vacuum seal. And then on this side you would put 3 bolts on each side and secure those in. So once you have your magnetic bases on, you have your cord running through that groove, and you have a screw here and 6 screws here, you are done with your beacon conversion from a permanent mount to a magnetic mount. Now obviously if you're doing just the opposite, take your 6 screws out, 6 screws out, remove your 1 screw, swap your pigtail out, and then use either one of these permanent items that will also come with your screws, and you'll be able to go. Once you have this connection, you're going to take your cigarette lighter adapter and turn that, put that right in there like that. Make sure it's all the way good and tight, protect against weather. And then this is 10 foot of cord. You can run that inside through your window, through your door, and then you'll have your cigarette lighter adapter here. Take a look, and you've got a power side, and then you've got a pivot side that will do a couple of features here. So power on, your red light will illuminate if there's power available. Boom, your light, you have power on. And then the top here is to control your color if you have a beacon that has more than 1 color. And the bottom will control all your LED patterns. So you have 10 LED patterns, and you can cycle through those. Once you get your pattern picked out, when you turn it off and turn it back on, it'll remember what that last pattern that you used was, and it'll be there every time for you. And that is it. Cigarette light adapter goes into the pigtail, pigtail goes into the bottom of the base. Magnetic bases go on or come off depending on what your setup is. If you're doing a permanent mount, we've got power for you there. And that's it. Really simple, easy to do. Best beacon in the world. Alright, so let me show you how to convert your beacon from a magnetic base to a permanent base. We could go to a permanent base or even a pipe mount base. These are 2 different base mounts that are sold separately. We'll have a kit for you that comes with the pads and screws. If you're going to permanently mount, you're also going to need this pigtail power. And then if you choose to go to the pipe fit mount with the 1-inch threaded pipe, you would need to get this with the screws and this. So this will be 2 different kits that will be available for you. So let me show you how that's going to work. So we have a magnetic based beacon currently, right? So it's got the magnetic base, and it could be vacuum magnetic with the vacuum magnets on there or with the regular magnets on there. Really simple to remove these. You would remove these 6 screws here. There's 3 on one side and 3 on the other. This beacon kind of shows you right there. There's 6 screws already in place on that with the magnetic base. So you would take those 6 screws out. Once the 6 screws are removed, then these should kind of wiggle and come loose. And then wiggle, and this one should come loose as well. And then the next thing you're going to do is change out your power. right? If you're going to go to a permanent mount, you're probably going to hardwire in your power. I don't know for sure. I mean, you could do a little of both. You could do a permanent mount beacon with a cigarette adapter for power. Probably not. But this is really nice because this is all modular too. So this comes apart if you need to make the beacon separate from your cigarette lighter adapter there. And then we're going to replace this pigtail here because this has got the quick disconnect for your cigarette lighter. There'll be one screw right here, and you'll take that screw out. Once that's out, this is a rubber fitting. You'll just pull that out, wiggle it out. It'll come out. Set that one aside. Take your permanent mount, and there's a little channel on this side and a little protrusion on that side, so you kind of match those two together. And then wiggle and push that in until it's firmly set in. And then you'll put your screw back in here and screw that in nice and tight. So there's the power portion of your permanent mount. If you are doing your permanent mount with these little guys, you'll get your holes all drilled and whatnot, and then you'll be able to secure those down with 6 screws as well. So whether you're putting it on a plate or any other piece of metal hardware, you can permanently mount that. And these little rubber pads are really nice. They look good. They're a silicone, so they're going to help with water tightness. Once you screw those down, you should be really good on your water tightness. There won't be any rust issues. It'll give you a nice firm fit that doesn't have any vibration because you've got that rubberized fitting in there. Now, if your permanent mount of choice is the pipe fit mount, then you would have your pipe fit adapter here, and then that's going to go on to your 1 inch pipe, and your power cord may run through the middle of it and go through the pipe, right? Or it might go alongside of it, so you can do it either way. But once you secure that to the pipe, then you would align this up and again put those 6 screws back in that come with this kit, and you will be operational in no time flat. Positive and negative connections, your ground and your positive. You can use a hardwire power switch here, which is really nice. I'll show you that. Same concept is our cigarette lighter adapter with a power and then a toggle switch there. This has got a power that is illuminated, so you'll know when your beacon is on, so you don't drive around town with your beacon on. Could get you in trouble or at least make you feel kind of silly. So you'll be able to see that your power is on, and then if you have dual colors, the top button, top pivot, is going to be your color control, and your bottom one is going to be your flash pattern control with 10 flash patterns there. Remember, once you've set your flash pattern and everything is good, when you turn it off, it's going to remember that setting. When you turn it back on, it'll be just set up the way you had it last time. So there you have it. Permanent mount conversion from magnetic mount. Obviously, if you were doing the opposite, just reverse that whole process and go from your permanent back to your magnetic, including your magnetic power and power over here. You're all set. Have fun with the X-Mod beacon.